redemption through the eyes of the condemned.
He who knew no sin became sin.
We were blind like Saul, chained like Paul, fell but called. Hear the gospel as we live it in the pen. We the king's men.
He who knew no sin became sin.
Like Paul and Silas, we pray, singing praises to the Redeemer for His grace. Redemption through the eyes of the condemned. We going in.
If somebody has a car wreck and there's 4 people that see it, and then there's also the person in the vehicle, that's 5. Let's say one person is far distance away. They're watching it from the distance, so they see the crash, but almost before it comes. He has a perspective, and this other individual in the car behind the vehicle sees the crash from very close up. And then you have some people over here at the store that seen the crash, and then you got the cameras that seen the crash from the store across the street. You know, it's a camera vantage point. Then you have the person inside the vehicle. Everybody sees the same thing and has 5 different stories. Now, they all seen the same crash, but they've seen it from a different vantage point. Now, let's say no one has a perfect perspective in the way that they know exactly how the crash happened. They got pretty good viewpoints, and they can add their points in, and one could build an entire church based on their perspective, but they missed the camera angle, and that church is split to do 2 different churches now. And this other person has their church because they seen it from a different perspective. But what if everyone at the car crash came together and understood each other's story, each other's vantage point of the story, of the wreck, and came together, listened from one another, and made one church, one story that is perfect? And that is what us biblical, I don't want to use the word scholar, but us who think about the scriptures in that way more and more, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get as many perspectives as possible, vantage points that have the right way, so we can really understand what the letters are saying. And so here we go. Let's jump in. The very next podcast that I do, we're going to dive into the book of Romans. And after that, we're going to dive into the book of Hebrews. A friend of mine has already written his commentary on the book of Hebrews from the perspective of an incarcerated individual to give us a little deeper understanding.